Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the Guard Your Savings podcast with the owner, founder, and insurance professional at Clear Income Strategies, Dolph Janis. And he's the main host here. I'm your co-host, Doug Turnbull. Get in touch with Dolph and his great team at guardyoursavings.com or clearincomeforlife.com. And you can dial them up 704-919-0149 and have a 20-minute Ask Dolph Anything session. And we have covered a lot of things here, Dolph. In the last year, we launched this podcast in the mid or late part of 2024. Last few episodes, we've talked about the beginning of the year checklist, retirement income, and also retiring comfortably. And now we're into 2025, Dolph. So happy New Year to you, sir.
Happy New Year, my friend. My New Year's resolution is hopefully to stay healthy and watch the Detroit Lions win a Super Bowl.
Hey, there you go. I know they've hit a couple of speed bumps here in recent times just before our recording in late December, but that doesn't mean that they're not primed for it, and they certainly look great out there, and I'm looking forward to the NFL playoffs.
Except for all the injuries, hey, you never give up. The thing is, you never give – like everything in life, you never give up. I mean, because there's always a chance, and I'm going to use that reference once again, and some people will shoot me in the foot for it, but Michigan 13, Ohio State 10 when we were 22-point underdogs on the road in November. Merry Christmas, Ohio State fans. Happy New Year.
God, I didn't realize the spread was that big. Wow. Well, hey, the spread big there. Things were pretty unequal and turned out differently. We have a comedian, Gary Gulman, talking about income inequality in the stand-up comedy realm here, and that's going to tee us up for our topic today, which is everyone's portfolio is different from the next. There is no one-size-fits-all. But first, here's Gary Gulman, and this will be, I think, particularly right in the wheelhouse of Dolph here.
The income inequality is just cartoonish. Even in my business, just the difference between me and... Do you remember the guy who played Jerry on Seinfeld? Okay. He's in the same business, ostensibly, as I am, but he is worth over $1 billion. Is he $999,911,000 better than me? And now you know my net worth.
So this comedian here, Dolph, says that Jerry Seinfeld, he said, Jerry, the star of that show, Seinfeld, Jerry, kind of acted like he didn't know who he was. He goes, you may have heard of him. He's worth $1 billion, which makes him about 999,000 whatever times more valuable than I am. But that's pretty funny, right? Saying is Jerry Seinfeld, as great as he is, really 999,000, whatever the number is, times better than this comedian. It's kind of funny to look at it that way, but that is how it's valued.
Well, the value of money and the value of persons are two different things. Everybody is important. Everybody you meet in this world has their purpose on this world. And putting a dollar value on some person because, he's a comic with with one of the greatest shows ever versus a comedian who just goes up there from time to time and ports on cruise ships. Hey, he makes them laugh in two different ways. I mean, if you look at the end of the day, no, I don't agree with paying that guy from the Mets $760 million to play baseball for a few years, but
15, but yeah,
he won't be playing in 15 years. That's the problem. It's just your hand has been dealt to you. This is the hand that you're dealt. A lot of people change that hand throughout their life and make different choices which alter that hand. The Seinfeld, they caught a break by being on that show, a show about nothing.
That's correct. Yeah, all of them, all of the main ones made out well on that too, and particularly Jerry Seinfeld. Seinfeld has all the other businesses and movies and things he's been in too. It's not just value of a stand-up comedian that gets him to that billion number, which again, you could take, like, it's like saying take it all lawyers and say, okay, what would a lawyer's portfolio look like? Well, same thing. It's like, okay, you could have a big-time criminal defense or civil litigator, or you could have somebody that works in the corporate office, that is on retainer for a corporation. Those are totally different things and maybe totally different portfolios. So we're going to talk about, Dolph, here, how everyone's portfolio is special. And that is basically the headline I'm putting. But I'd love for you to cook here because of Clear Income Strategies, I know you said over 200-something clients. So you've got, I'm sure, big, small, left, right, round, square, and everything in between.
In the last 20 years plus, I've been in this industry. I've ran into a lot of similarities of people, but never once you'll have the same scenario twice. A couple of years ago, I was doing a workshop. Like I said, I like to educate first, and this was just after my book got published, Across the Bridge to Retirement. I did a book signing, and then I did an event afterwards, and I had about 20 people in the room because I like to keep it small. And this guy says, aren't you going to tell us about what you offer? I said, no, I'm going to tell you about what we work with and how we work with it, because your situation's different. He goes, I came here I want to hear solutions. And so I apologized to the rest of the table. I said, okay, folks, can I take 5 minutes out of the time and alter this a little bit? And the guy's like, sure. I said, sir, how old are you? He goes, I'm 64 years young. I'm like, perfect. You look younger than that, but you're 64. And I said, are you married? He's like, yeah, I've been married for 10 years. Do you have any kids? I have one daughter. She's 6 years old. I'm like, okay. So I looked and said, anybody else at this table, 64 years young, married, 10 years with a 6-year-old daughter? Nobody raised their hands.
And not many people are going to qualify for that anywhere you ask.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said, are you retired yet? He said, I want to retire in 4 years. And I looked around the table, anybody retiring in 4 years? I mean, and after asking a series of questions of seeing, okay, are you looking for liquidity today, growth tomorrow, income, or estate planning and legacy planning? The ball went off in the gentleman's head, and he's now a very good client of mine. Of, you're right, because you could tell me one solution. I work with over 40 different companies, and God knows over 200 plus different options out there, because it's not a one size fits all. I mean, one person might be retiring and needing this much income next year, this much in 3 years, and so forth. Finding the right thing, and that's the difference between a captive and an independent agent. Me and my agents here in the office, we are independent. We don't have loyalty to anybody except for that person sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
I have this good client that lives out in Concord, and he said something to me a couple of weeks ago, and I just started laughing about it. He's like, I've been with this company. I can't name the company on the air, obviously. He goes, this brokerage company for a long time. He goes, It's kind of ironic they call themselves a brokerage company, because all they've done is make me broke.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, he goes, I've been with them for 10 years. In the last 10 years, they've made more money on my money than I have. So I think it's ironic how brokerage company is involved in brokerage. And it just says broke. And I just started laughing. And I told Dave, I'm like, can I use that? He's, oh, absolutely. I know there's trademarks on that. But
and it leaves him broke and gives him rage. So right. Brokerage.
Exactly. I mean, we developed this. I developed my company on educating, on family principles, and on guarantees, not promises. 99% of my clients have an alternate advisor besides myself.
Okay.
99. I work with the guarantee safety side of knowing versus guessing. The people that want to go out there and put money in the market and take risk and stuff like that, go for it. Go ahead. That's your side. I encourage it, because you have to have that little gusto out there. And one guy said, well, Dolph, why is it 99%, not 100? I said, because I'm my own client. I have 17 products by myself with me, and I don't need somebody else telling me what to do. So I work with myself.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm the 1%. He's like, okay, that makes sense. But when you're looking at your situation, I mean, do you have debt? Are you going to incur debt? How much money are you spending every month on incidentals? Because you do our checklist, our Where Do I Stand plan.
Yeah.
Doug, this is one of my favorite things. I mean, I'll have a married couple in front of me. They've been married for 35 years. I'll say, hey, Susan, how much money do you guys spend a month? And she'll be like, oh, we spend about $4,000 a month. And then I'll go, hey, Doug, how much do you guys spend a month? And he'll say, oh, about $6,000.
Oh, wow.
And I'll say, okay, here's the worksheet. Go have some coffee, wine, soda, whatever like that. Fill it out, come back. And I'll be out and be like, we're spending like $8,500 a month.
Oh, wow.
Over 90% of people I have fill this sheet out think they're spending less than they actually are. And this is called the eye opener. And when I have these 20-minute talks with people, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's here at the office, whether it's on the phone, that's one of the questions I like to stress to them is like, knowing what you're spending every month is the only way you're going to be able to create a plan going forward for retirement. Because if you think you're only spending $3,000 a month, but in reality you're spending $5,000 a month, that's the old it's going to fail. Because eventually that's an extra $26,000 a year on a 13-week split twice that you're not accounting for. Yeah. And if you're not accounting for it, and then you start taking vacations and start giving this, that, and the other stuff, you're going to fall behind. And once you start fall behind, you ever seen that movie, The Replacements, with Keanu Reeves?
I know of it, but I've not seen it.
Okay, there was a scene there with Gene Hackman saying, what makes you guys afraid? And he goes, quicksand. And I love this analogy, and I love this theory in life, because I've never seen quicksand. I won't accept in movies. I've never been around quicksand. I don't know if you have, or how many people in this world actually have been in quicksand.
I don't think I've been around it now.
I mean, it's actually terrifying, but if you think about it, but once you start sinking a little bit, it's harder to get up. And then something else happens, and then something else happens. Next thing you know, you're in over your head and you can't recover. And that's the one thing in this life is, guess what, folks? Yesterday is over with. Learn from the mistakes. Learn from all the problems. I mean, too many people dwell on the past of mistakes. I mean, 9/11, God forbid, that was 24 years ago. And it just seems like yesterday, but people are still thinking about that. They think about 2000, 2008, 2009. They're thinking about the Trump bump. They're thinking about all these different things going on. Well, how about going forward?
Yeah.
You got Judy graduating from high school. You got your daughter getting married. I mean, all these other things. Look at the positive, not the negative. And when you're doing that, when you're creating a financial plan, that's when it's going to be successful, because you're doing it in a positive manner.
Yeah. Well, I totally agree with that. So everyone's portfolio is different. You talk about, Dolph, at Clear Income Strategies, you all offer many different kinds of different ways via annuities and different products to be able to park your money, so to speak, and to be able to have income strategies and hopefully see it grow. What does somebody do then? You know, they're hearing this for the first time. They're not one of your clients yet, and they want to test this out. They want to talk to you and see if what your strategies are for them.
Well, they give us a call, or they can go on our website, clearincomeforlife.com or guardyoursavings.com. Both leads to the same place. We have a plethora of information there that is complimentary, including my book, which we can send you physically, or a PDF version of it. We have our Get Ready for Retirement guide, which is about 15 pages long. It's really simple to read. Gives you an eye-opener of things to expect for retirement. My Forbes article I wrote that had a ton of, it was awesome, but one of the hardest days of your life is the day you retire. So it's about, first of all, it's finding what you're looking for, because everybody has the same goal, is to be wealthy, not have to worry about money, get to enjoy retirement, get to do this, that, and the other. I mean, that's the dream. That's why so many people come to this great country, because that dream is possible if you make that possible. But if you don't follow a pattern and you just live it on the wing, and like you're a bartender, for instance, and no disrespect to bartenders whatsoever, but I mean, they make several $100s a night or whatever it might be, and then they go out and do whatever. How much are they saving of that $700?
Yeah.
What are they coming home with? And these are questions I'm asking. It's like, how much debt do you have? Where are you going to be? I mean, how long have you been married? Do you have parents that might rely on you? Do you have, I mean, all these different things. There's so many intangibles. And we called it, I mean, my old radio host, Kristen, we came up with a thing called Where Do You Stand Plan? Because we want to know, where do you stand?
Yeah.
And then once we start getting into the nuts and grits, we'll say, okay, how much income do you need to enjoy retirement? Because once you get your income covered, and let's just say, hey, if I can get a guaranteed $5,000 a month, every month for the rest of my life, tack that on with Social Security, which Social Security is supposed to be supplemental income anyway, and then have savings on the side, I'm never going to worry. I don't care if inflation goes up 15, 20%. I know I'm taken care of.
Yeah.
And having that paycheck coming in every month, even though you're paying yourself, is such a peace of mind. I can't stress enough, Doug. It's like the most important thing out there is like, when you're working, you got a paycheck coming in every week, every 2 weeks, or sometimes once a month, knowing it's going to hit your account. You know, okay, I can pay my rent, I can pay my mortgage. But going forward, at some point, that paycheck might not be there. The company might go out of business. You might retire, whatever it might be, and still have that paycheck coming in, hitting your account. Unbelievable. Just looking at my clients when they say, Dolph, even though it's an extra $2,500 a month, this has allowed, let's just say, Judy and I to do this, that, and the other. And when you get to do this, that, and the other, you're healthier and you're happier, because I don't know about you, but positive thoughts bring positive results. Negative attitude brings negative things. It's just like the quicksand theory. The more negative you get, the worse things get. And then anger starts building in. Then you start making mistakes, and boom, 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 it falls apart. Like if you play golf, if you miss a 3-foot putt and you dwell on that for the next 2.5, 3 hours, your round's going to be miserable.
Right.
You forget about it, go on, boom.
So that's what the importance of sticking to a plan. If you don't have a plan and you hit a little quicksand or you hit a little speed bump there, then you can be really off track. The plan keeps you on track. And Dolph and his team, they ask you the questions. Have you fill out the worksheets, if you will, taking you right back to school, right? Have you fill out the worksheets or the questionnaires to kind of get you in between the lines there. And again, usually it's just like with counseling or something. Usually it's more just asking questions, asking the right questions, and helping things shape up. So again, go to guardyoursavings.com or clearincomeforlife.com and get with Dolph and the team. And you can dial them up too. Let me say the number one more time, 704-919-0149. Dolph, thank you so much for pointing us to just this the revelation that some people don't think of. They think, oh man, well, everybody else has got the same thing and I'm the one that's different. No, everybody's portfolio is different, and somebody who's dealt with them a lot is Dolph Janis here. So, sir, thank you for ushering in 2025 the right way and spending your time with us.
My pleasure. Take care. Remember, it takes two to tango, but you have to start somewhere. God bless and take care, and happy Merry 2025 to everybody.
Exactly. Can't just wish and hope. You got to actually start somewhere. Well, this has been the Guard Your Savings podcast. We thank you all for listening. And Dolph Janis is the owner, founder, and insurance professional at Clear Income Strategies. Thanks to our producer, Alfred Romero, who's back in the booth here with us here, making sure this gets published.
Thanks, Alfred.
Yes, absolutely. And we hope you all have a wonderful 2025. We'll have another episode coming your way here in under 2 weeks.
By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities offered through Randall Janis, North Carolina Insurance License number 8483456. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Dolph Janis is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Dolph Janis is licensed in your state, please call 704-919-0149.